Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I make these crochet little peppermints, and I'm going to show you how I make them into garland. So let's get started. For this you're going to need two different color yarns. I'm going to be using red and white because I'm going to make a pretty traditional looking little peppermint. And you're going to start with your white and create a magic adjustable ring. How I do mine is I have my little tail yarn here and my working yarn behind, and I wrap it around my fingers. I insert my crochet hook and pull up a loop. It's a little tricky at first, but it's definitely worth practicing and getting it. And then you're going to yarn over and chain one, and that starts your MAR. Then you'll have like a little tail here that you can adjust. It pulls through. So we're going to make sure that when we do our first round that we're crocheting around these two pieces of yarn, the working yarn and the yarn tail. And what we're going to do is 7 single crochet stitches. So we're going to do 1, 2, right there into the MAR. I'm going to take the tail of the MAR and you're going to pull it so that it cinches it closed. Just make sure your stitches aren't twisted. And then you're going to join with a slip stitch right at the beginning there. Round 2, we're going to do partial half double crochets where we're going to be picking up the other color to complete the stitch. To start, you just want to take that slip stitch that you did to join the ring and just kind of elongate it so that it's just about the same height as what the half double crochet stitch is going to be. And then you're going to start your half double crochet. So you're going to yarn over and insert into that same space there, and then pull your yarn through, and then you're going to have the first part there of the half double crochet, and then we're going to grab our other color. For me it's the red, and we're going to complete the half double crochet using the red. And you're going to do that and alternate between the two colors, the white and the red. So now we're going to do another partial half double crochet using the red. You're going to yarn over, insert into the same stitch as the white half double crochet, and then you're going to drop the red. And this part, it is a little hard at first to kind of get used to how you want your yarn, but this is kind of like why I have my yarn separated, kind of one's over to the right and one's to the left, because this is going to, you want to make sure you're always pulling your yarn up from the same like kind of side. So when I grab my white, I want to make sure that it's like on the right side here of the red. And I'm going to grab that yarn and finish the half double crochet. And then we're going to start this next partial half double crochet into the next stitch. And we're going to yarn over, grab a yarn, and then we're going to drop the white, and you want to make sure that you're grabbing the red from the front. And you just want to make sure that you're always doing that each time. So when I drop this red, I don't want to like reach under here and get it, because then what's going to happen is my string, my yarn is going to be pulling behind it, and I want to make sure that it's over it, because then the back side of your peppermint is going to look nicer and cleaner and consistent. So as long as you're doing the same thing every single time, it's going to be fine. I don't think it matters if you're pulling the yarn over or under. You just have to make sure that you're doing it the exact same way every time. So now we're going to grab from the top there, and we're going to go and start the next one. So the white always starts the new in a new space, and the red is always crocheted into the same space. So we're just going to alternate like that. We're going to do the white in a new space, red, complete the stitch, and half double crochet into the same space. And you're just going to repeat that all the way till you get to the last stitch. And there is a change when you get to the last stitch. So I'll meet you guys there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And on the 7th one, when you're using, that'll always be red. You want to make sure that you complete the full half double crochet using that yarn. And then this is that first stitch there. We're going to trim our yarn tails now. And we're not going to join the ring with a slip stitch. What we're going to do is we're going to pull that working yarn through, and we're going to take a darning needle, we're going to thread the red on. And what you're going to do is you're going to go into that loop there that's from the first stitch, and you're going to work it around, and then you kind of want to pull tight, but not too tight to disturb this stitch here, and you're going to kind of hide this inside this other stitch there. And then that's how I finish them. It's not perfectly seamless, but it's not too bad. And this is the top. If you're using this for the garland, you're not going to notice it. So then what we're going to do is you're going to weave in all your loose yarn tails, and I am going to be attaching this onto a white garland. So where my last stitches were, I want to make sure that these white yarn tails, I'm going to bring them up to the top here of where my last and first stitches meet, and then the red yarn tails I'm going to weave in and then trim off my excess yarn. But I'm going to leave these too long because that's how I'm going to be attaching them to my garland. So first you're going to want to make more of these. So there we go, we've got more of them ready to go. You're going to tie a knot to join them together, and wrap it around the front so it's draping down the back, and then you have kind of like this the other color behind, and you're just going to want to grab and draw through there, and then you're going to keep doing that all the way through. So you're going to yarn it over starting where you're wrapping it around the front of the hook, and then you're going to grab the other color yarn and pull it through, and you're just going to keep doing that for any number of chains that you want. For this I'm going to do 7 of them. So we've got 3, so we're going to do 4, once you have your 7th stitch on there, you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to go back and insert into that very first chain with a slip stitch, and then you're going to keep doing that new chain. So you're going to yarn over, and now in between each of mine little peppermints, so this is going to be where my first peppermint is, so I know that that's where the first peppermint's going to go. 3, and then we're going to do another bump. So 1, 2, 3, and you can always add as much space as you want in between your peppermints. You don't have to do this same as me, but I'm just going to do 3 and 3. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do another bump. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to insert into that first one there and slip stitch, and then you're going to do 3 more. Once you've done enough picots, I'm just going to show you with a small sampling of 3. You're going to sew on the peppermints using those long strings to the tip of the picot and just space them out evenly. This is a different version, so you have different options of ways you can do it, but I just feel like it adds a little bit of a decorative touch to the garland. This one's going to look a little bit different because I didn't want as much space in between. I wanted it to be more frilly, but it's just to show you guys that there are different options that you can have for making this garland using just the same stitches, but to kind of change it up a little bit and make it your own. I also am going to show you really quickly just how to do it if you wanted to just do a simple chain of stitches and add it on. Okay, for this garland you're going to want to have all of your tails woven into your little peppermint. And then when you get to that 10th one, you're just going to take and go to the top of your peppermint and just join it there with a slip stitch. And then decide on a number that you want between the next peppermint. So I'm just going to do 5. And then if you wanted to, I think 5 is probably too close, so let's do 10. And then you're going to add another peppermint. And then you're going to add another peppermint. So there we have it, 3 different ways to make these different peppermint garlands.